go and have a little update on this project I'm doing here, the MC145170. I've done most of the code now on this. It's not quite complete, but it's really close. The the menus are working. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a sore throat and a bit sick today. Menus work well mostly. I've got one menu I haven't actually finished writing yet, but the one here for bands, and push it twice to actually change it. So it goes band A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then New Zealand, N for New Zealand, right? So that's what the VCO is capable of covering. The radio itself cannot cover that, but that's what the VCO can. And when you're in that band mode, you can either wait for it to time out, which I'll show you, and it goes back to channels, or you can just push it and select one and push it, and you're in. So yeah, that's that part. There's also a longer press, which is for steps. Again, you push it twice to actually get into it, and then you select step size of 5, 10, 25, 50k. I could make 100k if I wanted to, or whatever. I can make it anything I want. 5k being minimum with the current divider settings. Technically, I could go down to 2.5k. Don't really want to go there. Don't really see the point, to be honest. So back in steps again. Back into 10k. All right. There's also a third menu option, which currently doesn't do much. I've actually not finished writing this. It still says steps. I was going to put steps in there, but I put it in that other menu instead. And I might actually get rid of this higher level menu, or I might just keep it a hidden one and just use that for some on the fly configuration stuff. Right now it doesn't actually do anything. That's the one I've still got to finish writing. But the bands work, and the steps work. And what I can do, I've got different configuration options, which I'll probably put in that top menu. Currently I have to program in by code when I actually upload it. This my bands here, there's a choice of how it handles the channels. So the first choice is to stay within that same band, right? So 1 to 40 within the same band. So when you're on 1, you go down to 40, that's still within the same band, right? So you jump up to 40, which is like a normal CB radio channel selector, okay? The second option is to have it acting more like a VFO, and it will go through all of the bands, all right? It only does that on the other band. New Zealand it works 1 to 40, right? So on New Zealand band, that's what it does. It just goes 1 to 40, right? It doesn't go to any other bands, so that acts like a normal CB. On the other bands, if I go to say F, which is 26.965 on channel 1, you saw us went up a band. Well, I went up a channel. Now it's on G band. All right. And 40, back on F band again. All right. If I go right down, back down to previous one, now on E band. All right. So it allows you to either go through the bands like a VFO in channelized steps in alignment with standard channel bands, or stay within the channels, and if you want to change band, you actually have to go in there and select a band to go to. So yeah, that's the options there. And I think, was it A working out as? I can't remember now. What's it, E? 26515 is E. All right. It's also got a thing, if you get towards the end of the band, it actually hesitates, so you don't whiz around past the end of a band. That is 26065. 25615, and I'm running out of transmit power. So that's on C. Alright, so I've got B and A below that. So it's 90 channels below 25615. So that makes it 24.715 as the bottom channel, which is this is currently configured for. And likewise, I think G is the highest one I can transmit on, is it? Maybe not. Okay, H. H is 27864 right now, and it's got one more band above that plus the other 44 channels. Alright, so what's that? 89 channels above that one. So 89 channels, say 90, so it's 28.755 in that configuration. The only reason I stopped at that level is because trying to do a J is not possible. I can't do a J. So yeah, it's you know, as an eye, it's a bit of a dodgy eye. I wanted to make it look different from a 1, so that's why it's only half a bar. But yeah, I can't really do a J. I suppose I could actually. I'll do bottom bar, then top right bars. Actually, yeah, that could work. I can do a J. I can do a J. In that case, I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, following a little bit of reprogramming. Took me all of, I don't know, 4 minutes. I've now had an extra band, so this is currently on I. So this radio encoder's loose, so it's a bit jolty. Alright, so there's now a J band, as you can see. It's not the best display, but you know, it's okay, I suppose. If I go up to 40 on I band, my radio won't transmit, so I've gone all the way up and back over to this now. It should now be in J. Here we go. Alright, it's fine. And so I go back down again. That should now be back in I. It is. Okay, back in J. Right to the top of J. That should be A. It is. Okay, and back down to 40, so that should be top of J. It is. Okay, so that's all working. So if I want channel GH, was I again? Bloody radio encoder's driving me nuts. I is just that lock. H. Right, so it's 27864. Plus I've got 2 bands above that. Right, so that's 90. So that's 27.7. Oh, that's 65. Clarifies not quite right. Confuse myself now. Hold on a second. Right. Alright, so it'd be 28.765. Channel 1. 28.765 plus the extra 44 channels. That's 28, 29, 805. Yeah? Let's get a calculator out on. It's been a long day. Okay, so I'm doing 27.865, 27.865 plus 0.9, 28.765 plus 44 channels, 29.205. Okay. So I'll go to 29.205 in the current configuration. So that's going from what did I say, 24.7. Yeah, 24.7 to 29.205. It can work within that range, but it can be adjusted to be a different range. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. Yeah, so that's the function. I mean, the radio encoder does work quite nicely. I mean, it's got a bit of kind of stops at the end of the band sometimes, which is actually quite handy. I think I quite like that, because it's got a update where it changes between bands when it gets there, so it's it causes it to hesitate, which I actually think it's actually quite a handy thing. Yeah, so it's all working nicely. Velocity control's working, so you can go up individual channels. It's fairly accurate. It's got the odd skip there. That's the other thing I've got in here too. I'll show you. Hope I can demonstrate. So it's channel 1, 2, 3, still 3, 4. That's because the one that's still 3 is an alpha channel. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to display that yet as an alpha channel. Say 7, 7A, 8. See, 11. Oh, must have gone past it. 11, 11A, 12. It was anyway. I moved it too fast. 11, 11A, 12, 15, 15A, 16. See, it's still there. 19. What do you turn to the 19A? 19, 19A, 20. Alright. So the alpha channels are all in there as well. I haven't removed them. They're still there. I could remove them, but I might as well leave them in. The only tricky bit I've still got to do yet is the skips between channel 23 and channel 25, where the actual frequencies jump around. I haven't written that bit of coding yet, so at the moment it doesn't do it. It's out of step with what another CB would do. So I've got to write that bit yet, but otherwise that's pretty much done. That shouldn't actually be too hard to work out. Just have to see what channel it's on and deduct and encode, and vice versa. Well, actually, add an encode, isn't it? Because 23 goes to 24, then 24 goes to 25, 25 goes to 23, or something like that. I bloody don't remember. Anyway, something weird. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's working quite nicely. What I'm going to do is, I don't know actually. I might just carry on playing around code, but for now this is pretty much it. But I was going to put this in code on a little PCB and help stop this whole annoyance with it wobbling around and basically falling off. It responds very differently between having a knob on it and not. You can turn it a lot quicker without the knob, and so it meant velocity controls were really, seemed really good. As soon as I put a knob on there, I was never actually getting to the faster stages. Because it was turning slower. So I had to just tweak the velocity settings there a little bit to allow for that. But yeah, I do want to put this onto a little PCB and just try and tidy this up for the sake of testing, but we'll get there. I'll put it back in again. Who that was? There, I think. That's it there. Yep, that's it. Okay, so. But yeah, you can see the velocity it's actually too fast for it now when you again got a knob on there. It's a bit too quickly. Now it basically requires a knob to be on it. But that's alright. Yeah, so that's it for now. Coming along nicely. I'm still waiting for the boards to turn up, obviously. They haven't left China yet. The adapter boards for the PLL location have been made. They haven't made the actual conversion board. They haven't made that bit yet. So it's probably going to be at least another week, or maybe a bit longer before those are ready. But yeah, this is all coming along nicely. I haven't ordered any boards for these yet. I've taken out the hardware debounce I had in there, these little capacitors. I've still got a resistor network in there, but I've taken these out. It doesn't seem to need it if I get the timings just right. It's one less thing to have to deal with. When I do make boards for these, I'll probably leave locations full of capacitors on the boards, so if I do ever have to use them, I can put them in. But yeah, As you can see, I don't know, I've got these resistors in here now as well, so it's driving each digit through a resistor. Whereas before I was driving the whole segment through each segment through a resistor, was before I was driving each digit through a resistor, so that the brightness was varying quite a lot. But I mean, I'm quite happy with it now. That's looking quite good. There is a bit of bleed through from some digits. Try and find what I can show. Here you go. So you can see that, but the 3 is bleeding over to here slightly. If I put some delays in the software, I can reduce that bleeding, and it gets it down a lot. But it reduces the responsiveness of the encoder. So I'm trying to find that balance between encoder responsiveness and that bleed through. This is the problem with trying to do multiplex in straight for Arduino, because I'm trying to do all this code, and I don't want to actually delay it. If I put a delay in there, it holds up everything else, including encoder responsiveness and that kind of thing. But I can't seem to get this bleeding through. I can't get rid of it without using a delay. I don't know what the hell it is. You know, it's like it's got some ringing or something from the pins on the IC, and it's not switching quite fast enough, and I don't know. It's a bit odd, but it got a lot better when I actually ran the individual resistors instead. That got a lot of it down. That seemed to stop the bypassing inside the actual display, but there's still some there. So I'm not quite sure if I need to look at that in some other way in order to get that down more. But now, if I was using a proper driver IC, this wouldn't be an issue. I could just run one digit off each IC. You know, ideally I'd get a 16-bit IC, but they seem to be hard to get, strangely. Expensive ones I've seen. So yeah, I mean, ideally I'd run a shove driver, just switch it with an latching on it, so it just latches the display, and that'll take away all that bleeding. But because I'm having the multiplex, because of the limited number of outputs on this, and my desire to keep it as simple as possible with as fewer parts as possible, which means no driver. If I absolutely had to, I'd put one in, but this is capable of doing the whole job without a driver, if I can just get this display tweaked just right, you know. I did actually try and put some timings in instead of delays in the software, so it wouldn't hold the software up, which is the way all the other functions work. They've got timers built into it, so it's based on how long it took to hold, you know, how long you'd hold the button down for, that kind of thing. So it tracks all that, but for some reason I couldn't get that part to work in the delay display section, so that's being a bit of a pain. So yeah, I probably will get to it in the end and get that sorted out, but at the moment it's using a delay, which is less than ideal, but it's working. And so I'll probably try and get that sorted out and figure out why I can't choose timers. Timers should be able to do it. I should be able to monitor the time between two actions and then say, don't do it until this time. What I was finding I was getting is one segment would turn off, or, you know, the whole display wouldn't come on, or there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. But I've obviously got something wrong there, but I don't know what it is yet. I haven't figured it out. The code, I think, hold on a second, is yeah, 1,500 lines of code. So, but then that's including all my comments and my formatting. I tend to format things out quite a long ways to make it easier to read. It's not very concise. I mean, you probably compress it down to 1,000 quite easy. But anyway, so that's the project as it states right now. So this is dodgy on that board. 1 New Zealand. Come on. 1 2. See, it's working. Yeah, good job, 40. Come on. Doesn't want to do it without a knob on there. There we go. Right, 1 2. See, there we go. Let's prove it works. Alright, that's me waffling on for now enough. But yeah, the menus seem to work quite nicely. So I've got was it less than 0.6 of a second to get to the band menu, more than 0.6 of a second to get to the step menu. more than 3 seconds to get to the other menu, which currently hasn't got anything in it, but it will have. I'll probably put that option in there for the channel control, whether it acts as a VFO, whether it stays within band. I'll probably put that into that menu somewhere and do that. Okay, right, I'm done. Have a good one.